All right, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So we just got started. It was yesterday actually. It was with our new fort. We've only got 7 dwarves in here at the moment, and we just sort of really established a way in without doing too much. And just today we're going to have to sort of just start to set up the basic rooms, what we need to be looking at, how we're going to sort of operate moving forward. I like to try to structure my levels to actually have like a theme on each level, and we sort of now know through cracking the aquifer and things like that, just what we're dealing with. So we've got a lot of information now to actually set up something a bit more meaningful. We've got a really, really good opportunity in this fort to do some things here with the steel making, but that's sort of mid-level. Even if it's usually late level sort of development, but in this case, we'll sort of move it up a notch, but we still got to get our basics done. So today, I know a lot of people actually, struggle with what to do first when you actually get a fortress. I'll just go through what the steps were that we used to get here. Now we're playing in a haunted biome, and what we did do was just initially when I come up this particular staircase, which goes through the aquifer. We then go outside up through here, where we actually have like an outside area. You can see there's some vomit on the ground. This is because there is actually a small pile of creeping soot. We have creeping soot that sort of blows in from there's a volcano nearby, so from story-wise, we'll just call it from the volcano. So it comes through every so often. It's a weird weather effect. We're in a haunted biome, and so that weird weather comes from that particular biome. That's sort of where that one kicks in. We've got all the basic building blocks to do everything that we want to be doing. We've got like a wood area outside which we can certainly make good use of. When we make the steel, I'm thinking we'd actually make this one using wood, because we were actually in a fairly wooded area, so we can actually bring wood down to burn that to then start the process of making steel. Bjorf, so Bjorf has redeemed another character as well. Now we actually already have like a fair few in reserve, but that's fine. Just put your name out there, because eventually we'll have the dwarves. The dwarves should come pretty thick and fast fairly soon. We've only got the 7 at the moment, but if you are redeeming your name, if you're on Twitch, that's the place to do it, because Twitch is where we do the DasDemptions. Hi Adrian, how you going? They're back over there on YouTube. So anyway, this is the location that we have. What we want to be doing ultimately is we've also then laid out our coming fort back up in here. So this is actually like a blueprint for our fort, and I was thinking about this yesterday. When we come up, we're then going to have to actually have like a way around the fort. Now we'll probably go up and then go out a level to actually sort of make like a larger zone. But what we don't want is to have the goblins scaling the walls. So that's one thing we want to be doing. So we can't just go straight up. We have to go up and then out eventually. But this is going to be our starting point for the fortress. I could also make them 3x3s, just thinking about it. And with one staircase in the middle. No, the staircase in the middle is not going to help, because that's going to come up where we want the siege weapons. I want to have or anti-siege weapons essentially down through here. But this is going to be our basic layout. So I'm happy enough with this layout, to be honest. For when we do get started. So this is going to be the top, and I've used the blueprint mode just to sort of set up the zone for this. Now we are going to have another way of actually dealing with this as well. I might just do even more of this just to lay out exactly what we're doing here. So I'm just going to go across to the blueprint only mode. I'm going to end up with stairs probably in the corners, I would guess. Probably sort of back in here, or even further back. I think we only need to get to one of them. If we got to one of them and then use the top bit all for like for archers and things like this, we'd then be able to put archers on whichever flank is being attacked. Because now they can break through walls and stuff like this. So I'm not exactly sure how much. Better play recklessly than says Bjorf, yes. Well, I just want to make sure that I've got this one. This is going to be the front entrance, And we sort of decked out that we're going to actually have our, ultimately we're going to have the, where the, actually we're going to probably have to build this one fairly soon, to be honest. At least the first portion of it. I'll think about what we do there. We may just have to build a trade area somewhere else. We can build that inside the fortress, I think, initially, and then we'll come up. But by the time 2 years have run around and we're starting to get the actual wagons coming, we're going to then need to have this built. So we've got a couple of years to build this, and so in reality, like I've got the walls, the main stair that comes up through here. By this stage, this is all going to be really just for military and for trading. Yeah, so I could actually build the walls across and do something like down in here. Let me have a think about that, because we're going to have the trade area is going to be in here somewhere, or maybe down in here. Yeah, I might just build the. So I've got this one selected. I'll just go and build the walls down this way. And that's 2 in, and in reality that would be enough. That gives us the 5 by 5 for the trade caravan, with the where the actual end. So this could be the trading area, the trading hall, and then we just have a way of protecting this internally. In fact, that means we probably don't even have any of this stuff initially. But I'll leave it where that is. No, I will get rid of that. Just get rid of these, so we end up with so ultimately what's going to happen here is we're going to end up with the main staircase that goes through the fortress. So this is going to be the first point of weakness. This will be the top of the fortress. As we come back down, this is now sort of going to have to just go through the initial, like the peat, and we've got silty clay loam walls there. We then actually have built up to here so far. We've got a peat wall here. This is already a bit of a weakness, because they can dig sort of straight from the top here into our fortress if they wanted to. As we come back further down, we've got silty clay wall, and then we've got the aquifer. So if I go and actually do this one through here, you'll see there's aquifer on the corner, and we actually have damp stone because the aquifer is further out through this other side. So this is going to be, we're going to need to protect ourselves at some level coming back in. Now we actually only have like one layer of aquifer there, which is actually interesting. So we've got the one layer of aquifer, and then we've just got a microline wall there, and then we come back to another aquifer. Okay, so we've got the second layer of aquifer there. I thought we had more than that. Another microline wall there with more aquifer. We've got damp stone through there. Then we've got a chalk wall, but the chalk wall is going to actually end up being on top of the actual aquifer itself. So this is the first of the actual levels that we can actually dig out. So let's go and start to dig these out. And again, I'm just trying to think of security, what we're going to do here. So this will be where we end up having an area for, and I've still got the blueprint turned on, so I'll just turn that off. So we will actually start to dig this one up. This is probably going to be our initial area for our military. So let's just go and dig that one. So that's just going to be like a flat area, and we'll make this one so that we end up protecting this one through here. Ishkabashi is in saying the surface fort should cover any underground farms you have. I learned that one myself. They just dug down. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere close to the surface. I want to try to keep the aquifer between me and the rest of the fort. So if they do come in, they're gonna. If they don't come down the staircase, if they dig in from the side, they're going to have to contend with the aquifer. So the aquifer is ultimately going to be interesting to sort of see how we go. But I want to have enough space to be able to, actually I might even go one more on the outside. And the reason I'm thinking this is if we're aware of attacks coming in, like where they're digging in from the side for whatever reason, I can then start to put up walls in here and actually wall this off. So this will be our first little area for protection. I can then sort of keep on going down through the fortress. We've got bauxite. We do actually have tetrahedrite, which is silver and copper. So we'll probably start off by making silver and copper weapons, for example. Now, we don't have to worry too much about the undead here, so I can use sharp weaponry. So anyway, this is another layer. Then we've got chalk again. bauxite back through there. So all of these layers now are actually available to us to start to then work until we get to this area through here. Now what we're going to do is, at this point, we're then going to transition across to another down area here. The reason this water is here is because we built up through the aquifer. We wanted to crack the aquifer going up, but this is now drained down into this level, so we've still just got some water left over. So it's going to go from this layer to this layer here. And so anything below this should be better protected, or will be actually worse protected, because this opens up into the caverns. Now in this particular cavern, we're really deep under. What we've done initially is just put our animals down this way. We've got the initial farm down this way as well. We had a battle with a giant bat, which is back over here. So we're probably just going to end up with these little areas. And the reason we chose this is because we walled all of this off all the way around to protect ourselves in this zone. And if I go up one layer, there's still walls that go all the way around. So we did this just so we've got our basic security was set up last time, and then we go into solid rock there. What we don't have here is the height for trees. So we may have to go and gobble out a new chunk of this at some point. And if we just go back down, we also then had other layers that were going down. I just wanted to capture it. So we've then got this one captured where there's only one layer between the ground or whatever. So we've gone that way, and then down here, there and there. So we've secured this little chunk of everything. We haven't seen what's over this other side just yet. But I wouldn't mind getting a tall area for like to be able to then go and get trees. You can see these are only over one layer. As you sort of scroll up and down, we're sort of looking at just a single layer. The only ones that are any good are the ones with the blue that we can sort of see down this way, where there's actually a bit of height. So this one, there's actually 1, 2, 3 layers, which means that the trees in here will grow to a reasonable height. We also have limonite in the walls over through here, which is iron. So we want to sort of build initially an iron, like iron, copper, and silver is what we actually have available to us right from the very, very start. And we also have over here got kaolinite there, which is like clay stone that way. There is other things in this way as well, which we do want to make good use of. Got kaolinite through there. Just go down another layer. Claystone, kaolinite. So this is all still more clay. We found other resources, which as we sort of come back down, this is underground. This is actually where our well is. Claystone. There was actually another resource in through here, but I can't see it there. So we don't know any deeper than that. That's as far as we've gone, just to get the water source from down in this location. So what we've done here is we've actually just got like a grate. We've got the water seeping in through this diagonal, and then a grate there, and then it's going into this hole here. In hindsight, I should have dug that deeper and allowed that to fill up at least one more layer, but I didn't do that. It should still be okay for the fortress, but anyway, this is actually a well. So this is now our water source. And that goes all the way up to this layer, which is the same layer as where everything sort of then joins up. So in reality, this is a little bit of a dangerous layer because it's a transition area. But it's also the layer that we thought, well, we'll probably have to build our hospital in here. So we'll have to sort of think about what we do with this. So we have to sort of start to plan things through. So we're really all the basic stuff. We've got just like some basic areas in here. These are just temporary. I'm going to remove them. We've got initial stockpile and everything stockpile to take things down from the surface. So we've left nothing outside. We've just got our basics in here until we can start to build things. Everything's pretty compact, really, when we have a look at it from where we actually are. I think what we'll do is maybe sort of start to work. How many layers have we got before we actually hit that? We don't have much actually. This is the start of the area really. We've only got a few layers before we actually hit this layer down through here. So yeah, we don't really have a lot to play with. Well, even that layer is not even a safe layer in the sense that we've got this big opening. It's really the layer that we're on is the only safe layer before we actually hit the underground areas. So actually, where is that? There is actually a lignite that we found as well. We might have found them in the walls. Dolomite, microline, siltstone. We've got a lot of different sorts of stones in through here as well. Clusters. I'm sure I saw it in here somewhere. I thought, oh, that's cool. At least we've got access to that as well. It's all dolomite. Oh, it's on this wall with the jet, I think. Siltstone. Lignite. There it is. Lignite is how we can make coke to make steel. So this layer here will be quite important for when we do set up our steel industry. So we'll probably set up our steel industry down in here somewhere. In terms of workshops, I'm sort of thinking that we maybe do also set the workshops up on this transition layer. What we might even do is actually try to block off the this area. This is going to be where the fortress could be split in two at this point, at this particular location, and we could actually have like we definitely want to have the hospital over here somewhere. Look, we could even build most things on this layer, to be honest. I might even just do that. So let's go and start to plan out the what we're going to be doing with everything. So the hospital is going to have to come off the side of this, and I think I'll actually just go off one side, like a fair way away from everything else. And I like to have two thicknesses of, rather than having one thickness of wall. Like what I quite often do is just leave one thickness of wall with a door between sort of important areas. But in this case, with a hospital, I like to have two, because if we end up with like were creatures or anything like that, we need to be able to lock them away very, very quickly. And quite often a door is not going to be enough. And so you often, like, you sometimes do need to have, like, to be able to block it off with a piece of, like a wall. So by having two, it gives me the chance to have a door on one part of it, and then have some blocks available to block it all off on the other. Moving through, let's just go and set up the rest of the zone. Now we can make it, we're not really sort of constrained by size. Now the actual hospital rooms need to be at least a 3 by 2. So I can just sort of set up the wards this way. And again, the reason I like to have separate wards and not like just a common area is because of the undead or from any sort of special creatures. And again, the double area for a block and also for a door. It's just when you're playing such dangerous maps, the one that we're playing, this will then sort of set it up where we have the protection of the essentially of these, being able to put blocks down to block off the door. So it's not really like even this fort, even though I've got like really, really dangerous things sort of set up for this one. This I think will still be actually okay. That's 10. That'll be that's heaps for the hospital. This is going to be our hospital zone. So we'll let that one be built. We're also going to be then wanting to have workshops. Now we could actually just go off and even sort of isolate this area. I might even do that, I might actually make it so that we end up with another set of stairs that then go up. So how much have we got above this? We've got a fair bit of space above it, a few different levels. So we'll probably end up with the workshops also similarly in around this particular zone. So let's just go and, in fact, I may even make the workshops a zone lower. I might even bring them, might start to sort of have like another internal staircase in around here somewhere. Just so that if there's any forts, any damage that is coming, we can just have our main staircase with not much really coming off this, just purely for fighting. And then we actually have the internal staircase that we're going to be using for the dwarves to make, to do everything that they need to do just somewhere else. So let's actually go and do that now. Let's have that run as a central staircase, maybe even off here somewhere. Let's just do it off here. So if we go and build the, I'm going to build the up-down staircases into different zones. So if we have a look at the staircases here, I'll make this a 2 by 2 staircase again, just off here somewhere. Now, as I come up, I'm not exactly sure where the aquifer starts. It's going to be definitely in through here somewhere. Let's just go and have a bit of a look. Yeah, that's all aquifer, aquifer, and even that's got aquifer. All right, we don't have much that we can do. That's the only one. That's the first layer without aquifer. Elevation 21, which is only one layer above this layer. All right, that's still fine. We can still work with that. So we'll just go one layer up and make this into what we're going to do with our staircase. I'm just going to start there for the top of the staircase. We're going to then move down through the rest of the these locations. We are now hitting that at this point. Actually, that's still not good enough. Let's go back up to 21, back over here somewhere. Just keep it away from the from that location, just so we can work around things a little bit. So we'll start one layer above. We'll make the staircase start here. Whoops, and just go down. Should make it go up that way. Yeah, this is now getting a little bit tricky with what we actually have. We can work our way around the around that portion of it, I think. So I'll make it sort of go maybe to there. I'm just looking at we've only got like a few layers where that actually will then sort of kick in. When we hit this one, it goes to another down area through there. So we end up with a down stair there, which is fine, as long as we're the up down there. And we'll start to now sort of plan out what we're going to be building. And so this will be like an open area around this one, and we'll do the same up through here as well. So we don't anticipate fighting in here, unless there's a threat that's internal. So that's something we have to be careful about. Vilovac saying morning, and so Edramon is saying enjoying the start of the fort yesterday. Looking forward to see how this goes. So we're going to now just build the basic things, and I think what we'll do is we'll end up with the main. So what I could do is I could also have like a dwarf only area of the fortress. Maybe this is it, and we have a public area where we actually end up having like taverns and things off the main staircase, like off the entry staircase. Well, let's just start here anyway, and we also do need to have like a zone for. One thing I do like to do is actually I might even go further down and build zones for storage and things. We're going to need to do that. So as we sort of come back down, I'll just build all of these little areas in around the locations, and we don't have that many. Actually, I'll probably end up building at around. We've still got a couple more layers there before we sort of really get too stuck. I might make the workshops at the very, very bottom here. Actually, let's just go and dig these out. I might just unpause the game and just sort of let things sort of happen while we're doing all of this. Now the workshops, I'm just going to have them go off on a, like you can see there, we've got areas at the bottom through here that we have to be a bit careful of. We may not know like areas above us, so we have to be a little bit careful there. But what I will do is I'll actually go and set up a, this will be mainly for storage, this particular zone. So let's just go and build a massive storage zone in through here. And again, I've just got to hope that we don't end up coming across anything sort of too much. In fact, what I can do is, yeah, that's okay. We'll just go and set this one up. So initially, the guys are already digging all this staircase out, which is good. Let's see what else they sort of get up to. There's nothing really happening. Struck tetrahedrite yet again. Haven't started on this yet. Just watch as they do their work. So we've got basic farms built, so they will be able to eat, and we will need to get like a dining hall set up for them as well. Might even do that on the same layer as the hospital, actually, just so we end up with the main meeting halls that way, I think. Hi Began, how you going? And Resmelin. All right, so we are down in here now, just building this bottom layer. We have to be a little bit careful that this doesn't open up up into more of the areas. You can see we've got a few layers of height here, which is meaning this could be a little bit tricky. We could end up just cracking our way through the edge. If that happens, I'm just going to wall it off. So I do want to watch as they do this particular one. This is a bit more dangerous. So we have Began mining over here, and we have Zaradin, the expedition leader, mining up this way. We've got Microline back down this other side. And we've got Hematite through here as well, which is great. This is actually where we can then sort of also then build up mines. So we'll end up with the this is an ore of iron. Oh, the cloud of creeping soot is drifted nearby. So we don't want the dwarves going outside. I might just lock them off. Okay, Resmelin has also got me another dwarf. We don't have any dwarves we can name just yet. We're going to need to wait for some big incursions. This all looks pretty safe, actually. We've got Microline down this way. So definitely, if you are new to the game, even if you're not, use DF Hack. It certainly makes the game a lot easier to understand. This one does look pretty safe. What have we got there? We've got some indigo tourmalines. We're picking those up and putting them in storage. There's more of them. There's more down this way as well. So these are all gems that are being put back into storage. So we're just going to sort of set up our basic, like this will be like a large area. Now what have we got those? They're lavender jades. So just rough lavender jades in through that side. So we're just going to set up our basic workshops, and I think we'll set them up on this layer here. So let's go and do this. Just go and set up now the entrance down through that side, and I think I'll just build straight off. I won't worry too much about protection. What I'd like to have is like a 4 by 4 area, 4 workshops. That way I can actually block them off if somebody becomes crazy and takes them. So we'll just go and get our workshops like this, and then just build the doorways in. Now initially that will be enough for what we need. So that will be our basic workshops. So we'll sort of end up with like things like the mechanics, the stone workers. Oh, what's that? Oh, there we go. The Exik and the militia commander Frizerin have married. There we go. So that's actually a... now, I don't know where they've done that. Let's just pause that and have a bit of a look and see where that one was. This is the meeting area. So they've... there we go, Exik, and there's Klingzog. I'm not sure where Frizerin is, but anyway, that's... so they've actually had a bit of a celebration. So we've had the first marriage of the fortress has actually now taken place. The creeping soot is still outside. It's sort of blown its way through the outside of the map. It's not things we have to worry too much about, but we will be wanting to keep that under control. I might start to block this off. I might just do I might just lock that one down. Now, if kobolds come, they can just walk straight through these sorts of areas. Let's just leave that one there. And yep, that's all okay. Back down on that other side. So we'll just go back down into the fortress itself. We're going to be needing. So the first thing we want to do is build up the initial areas for us to make use of. We'll make this into a dining hall as well. In this little area, I think we'll actually come sort of straight off, maybe into the south, in through here. Let's actually make this whole area a dining hall. So we'll end up with, say, maybe 2 entrances back into that one through that side. And we can sort of make this one a fairly elaborate. I can make like a circular or I might even just make an unusual shape, I guess. So I'll just go and try to keep it fairly consistent. But that's probably going to be a bit too large. We'll make half of one, and then we'll sort of make it go a little bit off from there. So we're just coming back into these. Actually, we'll get rid of those. And then we'll keep a couple of columns. We'll keep it 2 coming back in each time. I'll make it just a little bit longer as well. That'll do, and across there. Just make that the initial hall. Now we've also got other little bits and pieces. We definitely need to have an area where the dwarves can then go and use lever. We need a lever room, so we don't need it initially all that big, but I will make that off to the top here. I think I usually like to have it on the way to the hall, but let's actually just leave it off the side here. So we'll just make a lever room there to start with. Alright, so we'll just now wait for the others that are now working their way through. So this was all nice and safe, which is good. I'm going to start cheating a little bit with the way things are then working. Now we've got the workshop layer there, and then we have a few layers up before we start to sort of then come up into this location here. What I will do is I'll also set up my farming from the other side. It's actually nice not having to worry about the undead. Let's go and make this into the farming zone. And so we're going to end up with a larger area where we don't need to block these off, but I still like to have like a 4 or even a 5x5 area for the still, and another 5x5 area for the kitchen. And from the other side we'll then go and make another 5x5. We don't even need really that big for the farming. We'll just start there and sort of then just work our way through. So they'll start to sort of come and build all these things. We can sort of just let things go their own way for a little while. See if they've worked on the hospital yet. Starting to now. So that's Zaradin and Began. So leave a room there, and this will be for when we start to do the big walls and stuff like this. Hi William Chapman, how are you going? Mama's saying I've never heard of the wedding bells before. That's a nice touch. Yes, no, it's a bit of a surprise. I mean, I think I've had them come up, but it's pretty rare. Thanks for the subscription there, Atomic Ant. Very, very much appreciated. So we're down now into the main hall. And yeah, with our dwarves are quite happy, like with what they're doing at this stage. But we're going to need to sort of set things up. Let's just go back down and have a look and see how this is going. So nothing down here yet. We definitely need that one done. I can prioritise what they're going to work on, but we don't really need to do that. This one in here. Just thinking about what we do with that. Actually, one thing we should have a look at is just what we've got above us. Yes, this is the top area. Again, tetrahedrite with bauxite. It's easier to smooth out the floor before we put tables in than anything else. So we'll do that fairly soon. Grandman Walking saying, apparently you don't have to suffer from the same issues I have. I have to have everything be symmetrical in my fortress. I'm sort of just going off all over the place, really. Okay, we've got a human lasher is now visiting. Now he'll be outside because we haven't opened up the door. So he's now just floating around she is just doing her own thing. I think we'll just leave them outside. We won't open them up for anything until we need to. So we've got this door locked here, which it should be enough to stop the first siege that does come. So these guys are just congregated. We've got a zone there, which is just a meeting zone, while we just get set up with the others. So this area will be the meeting zone. And I might just set up some smoothing now. Yep, so the dwarves aren't doing anything. They can just come through and start to smooth this up. It's just excuse me, it's just easier to have that sort of set up that way. Now we also need to have a bedroom layer. And I won't automate that just yet, but we'll get that one sort of started fairly soon. Just want to have like a large area ultimately that we can then just build up slowly over time. So the importance of building that zone initially is because we needed to make sure that we ended up having the like a zone away from the top of the fortress, which was oh, here we go, we've got some migrants have arrived. Let's just click on OK and then pause, because we now have to open up the fortress. Right, so we've got the new naming. It's just going to be whatever the order they arrive is going to be what the names will then be, guys. So if you've got your DasDemption names ready, we're just going to go and unforbid that one, and we'll have a look and see where they are. So we'll they've come from the south. We've got ourselves a duck. So we've got ourselves a stray chick. Of course, we don't name these. So we have in the past, actually, if they do exceptional things, but in this case, we won't do it. We've got wax opal. That we've now opened it up. So the migrants have now arrived. Let's just go and unpause. There's more units coming in. Are there more wanting to arrive? No one else has arrived. Here we go. So we have an engraver. There we go. So as they come in, let's just name them. So this will be, the first one we have is Dino Dance. Okay, so that's the first one. Hopefully we get more than one. There we go. We've got ourselves a weaponsmith. Okay, very, very important for our fortress. And this is going to be Sev 82, the weaponsmith. Now, what I've done is I'll show you the difficulty settings in just a second, because we have some things that we need to discuss about the difficulty settings that we've actually set up for ourselves. Even though we're not in a reanimating biome. The next one will be Vinyl Rabbit. Is there only two? So we only got 2 arrivals. So we only got 9. All right, so we have to wait for the next one. We've now got 9 dwarves, and we now technically can be attacked by sieges with the difficulty settings that we've actually got for ourselves. Let's just leave that alone. We've got the it's just a stray chick. Not going to really be of any real problem to us. So we'll come back across. They're going to now make their way across the whole fortress and then sort of come back down into around here somewhere, I think. Yeah, there's the lasher. Still trying to get inside the fortress. So this is actually the entrance down in here. So anyway, that's all fine with the new arrivals. So we've now got 9. Let's just talk a little bit about the difficulty settings that we've got. If I go to settings, I can change these at any time, but with the difficulty, you can see it's got custom in here. And I've got normal economy, but custom as in really, really hard enemy settings. And if I go to the custom settings in through there, a lot of these are now different because of the siege mechanics. But the enemy population trigger, we've now gone beyond the first trigger. So the first one we had was a population of, it says enemy, but it's sort of like the enemy coming and doing something and interacting with you. In this case, the enemy is how many dwarves we need to have in our fortress to trigger that one. So we're going to get the level 1 of attacks coming in with this particular one now, because we've got eight dwarves. We also have one for what we produce in the fortress, so like the value of our fortress. And I've made all these a lot lower than what they are in reality. So there's also going to be a trigger 1 there. And we also have another trigger in through here as well, which is the exports when we start to do trading. So they're the different areas that we then have to concern ourselves with. We have all sorts of other things that go in through here as well, like vampire. I've made this one so that we have much more likelihood of actually having vampires sneak into the fortress than what we've had in the past. So there's heaps of them, and I've actually made the attack periods in seasons a lot lower for things like werebeasts and stuff like this. So it's going to be fairly interesting the way it sort of is going to sort of then go and work. Let's go and click on done. So it's custom at this stage. So it's custom but extremely difficult. So let's continue on. So it should ultimately end up with a lot of fighting in this fortress, I would guess. So we have to get our military established. Just come back down to this layer. So they're just smoothing out the rock in this particular zone, and we do need to go down to our workshop layer, which they have sort of just started to build. Yep, there's more creeping soot outside. This is the soot that's sort of blowing their way across the map, which makes anything caught in it nauseous. So it'll make them throw up. All right, just go back down again. I should set up my quick keys fairly soon. So this is now, that's enough for me to be able to start to establish the meeting area for the dwarves. I might even change that now. So we'll just go and make this into a meeting area. Let's make it that big. So it'll just conform to that shape. We'll accept that. And so that is literally just a meeting area. Now I can change it into something like an inn or a tavern, a library, a hospital, a guild hall, or a temple. But if I just keep it generic, that's going to be like essentially where the main hall will then be for the... actually, I've got the dining hall there as well. Dining hall. Your citizens will eat at this zone. We're not assigned to a particular citizen. Citizens without their own dining hall will eat here. Tables and adjacent chairs should be included. Actually, this is actually this is two different things. This is actually pretty more what we need. Dining hall, yeah, we'll just go and accept that. I probably could still actually do that one. I think I'll remove that zone. Yeah, I'll just keep it as a meeting hall at this stage. That will be okay. So, and this zone here we can now ditch. So we'll just get rid of that one. DF hack really makes it so much easier to deal with everything in the fortress. This is cool. We're now starting to get this one. We want to get all of this smoothed out as well. Anywhere where the dwarves are likely to be spending any length of time, we want them to feel happy. So we're just going to go and smooth all this out. Now I've screwed up that one. There we are. So they'll just come in and start to smooth out the hospital. Just do it the central staircase. This is good. So as they build these, we'll start to then build our own, like the actual farming zone and stuff like this into these zones. So I was trying to think of what would be a clean way to actually have like information for like if you are trying to get into Dwarf Fortress. The thing I don't really like to min-max stuff too much in Dwarf Fortress. I just sort of like to let it sort of be a bit more organic with the way it's sort of then working in terms of what you build and what you don't build. But there are some things that are absolutely essential. So let's just maybe go through them now. Like we do need to set up like our basic the basic building blocks for the fortress. And so this is really what this workshop layer is. And I like to get the workshops established pretty early on. We've already established the basic workshops, which are established sort of, and where was it? Down, further up. So the three workshops that we need right from the very, very start is a stone worker, a carpenter, and a mechanics. Now, I'm going to be transferring them back down to the other location. So they'll end up sort of being further down into this workshop layer through here. And they'll be the workshops that we have through here, along with a crafts dwarf as well. So I'm just going to go and grab like the first one through here. I'll just make this into another stone worker. So if I just go back across, oops, no, here, not that way. Go into construction. So I'll just go through this quick, sort of slowly. So B, or place structures. So this will give you a lot of clues as to what to go and build. Actually, sorry, I'll just go and, I've got like a the request, so I'll just go and tick people off as these become available. So Vinyl Rabbit's the next one. Johnnyopolis is the next one. I've got to use the actual names, and then we've got the a few others coming. So we'll leave them over there on the other screen. So I'll just tick them off as they're redeemed. This area through here is going to be the kitchen and the still. So we need to actually have this one established fairly readily as well. And then we're going to have the farmer's workshop here. So if we have a look at the actual workshops we have, it's probably a good idea to actually have a look to see what's essential and what's not. Things like the trade depot are going to be essential when we actually get to the by autumn. So we're now in late summer. So we're actually heading towards autumn now already. So we need to now start to think about getting that first one established. I just need a 5x5 room to do this one. And so I'm just going to go up. What I might do is actually build my first one where I'm ultimately going to have, that's big enough for the trade area. Let's just go and do that now, temporarily. So let's just go and establish a trade area there. Back in the day, you had to always have access to carts, which were 3 wide, but not for the first couple of years anymore. So I'm just going to go and build that one through there. And I'm just going to go and build this one out of, what do I need? I need 3. I'll just go all. There's 3 bauxite in there. So we'll just go and get that established. That will then satisfy the trading, which will come next in the next month. The next thing we're going to have, and we don't actually have anything much that we can then go and do. So one good way to actually sort of generate money, one easy way, is to go back to our workshops. And I would prefer them to be building all of this before I like to have the craft dwarves further back because they're not really essential. But we'll wait for that to be built, I think. Let's just go back down to our workshops again and have a bit of a look. It's a nice little, almost like a checklist to see what you actually do need for your fortress. So things, for example, like the trade depot we need. Military will eventually need. We don't need it just yet. Traps we'll get eventually. Cages and restraints we don't need just yet. Fluids and machines, we will actually need them at some point. Constructions are sort of like the major, like bridges, roads, stuff like that. We will get that eventually, but again, it's we're just blocking things off with walls and floors initially, just to sort of do what we can in around there. If I go back across to here, doors and hatches, of course, we do want to be placing them. Furniture is specific, things for like beds, chairs, etc. So as we start to build those, we'll then get those done as well. And then, but the workshops is probably the best place to sort of really start. So trade depot we need, but as we go through the workshops, clothing and leather is a bit too it's not really what we need initially. Farming is an important one. We'll come back and actually we'll do that one now. When I click on farming, in fact, clothing and leather then opens up a whole lot of other different aspects, like the leather workshop, the loom, the clothes, and the dyer. These are the 4 different workshops for this one through here. So there's things like, for example, use leather tanned at the tanner's shop here to make clothing and tools. We will need a leather workshop at some point. So that's going to be something we will actually require. Farming is quite a lot that goes on in here. And there's a few things we do and don't need. Like the farm plot, we have already built 1 farm plot downstairs. And because I'm using DF hack, it will automatically actually put the stuff in there. My head's covering a lot of these things, unfortunately, guys. But we'll just go through the basic ones. Farm plot, we definitely need to get established early so they can start to sort of then go and plant different plants. Now, we're going to need a few different farm plots. A 2x3 is enough. You don't need very big farm plots in the game. It's not like you have to sort of make a massive area for farming. The still is one that's very, very important. I'll just turn my face off there for a second, just so you can see what I'm doing here. So the still is actually very important because this is actually where they brew the alcohol, and they do need to keep a constant supply through here. So that's actually one of the most important ones that we need in through this other side. The butcher and the tanner are sort of similar. They actually work together. The butcher will then butcher animals, and the tanner will then actually make the leather. They'll tan the leather from the butchered animals. So they work together. These can create like a stench, which you need to have them blocked off. So we'll be wanting to keep them away from most things, but we still will need to get those established. Fishery, if we've got if we can actually do fishing, then we'll be able to get a fishery established, but I have turned that off at this stage, so we don't need that one. The kitchen is the other one, like the still. I almost wish that they were positioned like still, kitchen, and then things like the butcher, tanner, fishery together. The farmer's workshop is also very, very special. This one actually is where they can shear their sheep, shear their animals and milk them and do other different sorts of things. They can spin thread. So I like to get the farmer's workshop established very, very early. So the ones we're looking at early are the farm plot, still, the kitchen, and the farmer. The other ones through here, things like nest boxes, we'll also be wanting to establish because we brought turkeys with us. So let's get those now all done. So we'll just go across into the still, go and place that one in here. So I'm just going to place that one in the middle of that 5x5 area. And we'll just go with siltstone because it's right there. I'll put the farmer's workshop back over this other side. Workshops, farming, and then the farmer's workshop. Very important workshop, this one. Just get dolomite. So they'll start to build those two areas, and this will be where the kitchen then goes. And we'll eventually sort of set up how we're going to then be feeding in what we actually need in through there. Being saying seems pretty calm so far. Yes, it does. The calm before the storm one wonders. Yes, I hope so. You're war with any neighbours, civs yet? Yes, we are. What we've done, actually, I should have mentioned that at the start, is we are established. You can always just go centre on your fort, which will then move it so that that's our fort there. Anything in red, we're at war with. So you can sort of see down through here, we've got like a whole lot of red around us for these different locations. This is the Lord of Stealing is the civilization. This is a goblin civilization that we're at war with. But to be honest, we didn't start the game that way. Actually, I'll just go back and turn my face cam on. Where is it? Yep, there we go. So so when we see these sorts of things, what we've got is red is what we're at war with, and you see we're at war with this civilization. We're at war with the necromancer towers back over through here. So we've got necromancer towers back out that way. There's a lot of evil in the actual world as well, but there's and then anything that's in blue is our actual own civilization. So the Spire of Wealth is going to be all the way over through here as well. So we've got like the Dwarven civilization is back over here, our main civilization. Anything in green is an ally. So we're allied with the elves and the humans that run through this other side. So we've got and this other Dwarven civilization as well. So they're our allies, and these are currently our enemies, and we have a whole lot of neutrals as well. These are goblins that haven't actually declared war at all. So we've sort of got a different thing. That's interesting. We've got some elves down here. Oh, here, this is interesting. So this little fortress in through this other side is still the Lord of Stealing. So this is actually where this group of goblins has taken over some elf fortresses, some elf retreats. And so you can see down through there when I hover over this one, the Goblin Forest Retreat of Foundwitch. And there'll be a history for that particular one as well. And we can see down through here, there's humans that have lost their ones again to the Lord of Stealing down this other side, where they've got like little goblin hamlets now, which were human hamlets. So that's sort of what we have in terms of the world. But we didn't start off that way, because what we did in DF Hack was we went to the GUI launcher and we ran a command called diplomacy. There it is. And if I just go and run diplomacy just on its own, it will then just give me the list of what we did. So what we came in through is we've actually got, oh, there we go. We've got another, this is the impure Maya is at war with us. But we actually turned this one on using this diplomacy command. So we made the Lord of Stealing into an enemy right away because they're our next door neighbours. And so I wanted to actually have something where we would end up having sieges relatively early, hopefully. We've now triggered the thing, which was the first one was the population, which we've now triggered by making the difficulty really, really hard in that sense. So they should come visiting fairly soon, I hope. And then we've got the impure Maya back down through that side and the threat of cursing. We're also at war with those. The impure Maya, I wonder what that is. Impure Maya. I don't know if we're going to see that one. It will be in red. Got civilizations. It's actually the only ones that we really sort of are really aware of. This is our site government and then our actual kingdom. So we don't get to see the others. News and rumours. Yeah, we're seeing there's a lot of ruin in around this other side. Let's just go back. Just unclick that one so we can see the colours here. There we go. This is actually a Dark Goblin pit of Grimbait. So the impure Maya has actually declared war on us. That's all the impure Maya through there. So they've declared war themselves. And but we did force the other one. That's still Lord of Stealing, the impure Maya. So the other one must be a goblin group as well, I'm guessing, somewhere else on the map. Impure Maya up through that side as well. A goblin fortress which is taken over from dwarves. So we've got a few different goblin groups that are actually around us that are going to be able to attack us. We're right here, surrounded by goblins and this volcano, which is where the ash is sort of blowing in from. What have we got through there? Mysterious loud of pit skunks. We don't know what that is. Anyway, let's just go and click on done and continue on. So these guys are now just going to build these initial workshops. This one here, we want to go and build another workshop down this way, which is, whoops, not that way. Workshops, and then back to farming. So we've already got the still being built here. We need to get a kitchen. So we'll get the kitchen built there. And we'll make that one out of siltstone. They're starting to now work on these, which is good. So while they're doing that, we'll just go across and go into workshops again, and we'll go to the stone worker. And I'll make a woodworker over this side. So that will be the carpenter. As these then come good, we're going to need I'll put the crafts dwarf in here. So workshops and crafts. So these are like the basic building blocks. I like to have 2 stone workers because we do a lot with stone workers. You can also have like specialized crafts dwarves working as well. But these are sort of like just going to be the basic areas for us. So we'll just go back across and again just build another workshop, another stone worker in through here. And we'll go and build a mechanic is the other one that we need to be going and getting. So workshops. I'll talk about all of these different things. A lot of these we just don't need. We'll just go and get the mechanic at the back there. And I might even get like I think I'll just leave it that way. This is, if I just pause that and maybe talk about this one here. This one had something in the middle. We'll just go and resume construction. So this is going to be where we do most of the actual work in the fortress is going to be in this particular one. Oh, we have 1 injured citizen. Something happened. Oh, what happened here? A wolf came in. All right, so we've actually had something in from the wild. 2 wolves. Okay, so yeah, there's the other wolf there. They've already been killed. I wish there was a pause for when a unit first starts to fight, like It would be so cool to be able to actually stop that one. So we can actually have a look to see what actually happened here. Just have a quick look. So this one is Gizerone, as Gizerone's always in the fights. Peasant cancels constructing a building, interrupted by a wolf. The dwarf suspended the construction of a stoneworker's workshop. Klingzog cancels smoothing wall, interrupted by a wolf in through there as well. So we've got a few different units now. The one that's Adrian is the one that looks to be injured. If we just go back down into here, injured citizen. The others are still smoothing out the hospital. So we need to get a hospital established and then start to sort of work things through. So let's go and evaluate what actually happened here. So you can see there's blood, and through this other side, there's wolf blood all the way through there. It's all wolf blood. That's wolf blood there. Wolf blood there. So the injury doesn't look to be all that sort of serious just in the initial look, but we'll have a look at now and have a look at what actually happened here. So the human lasher actually did the damage, and Adrian is actually the farmer has done a little bit through there. So the wolf bites the farmer in the hand, tearing the muscle. The wolf latches on firmly. The wolf shakes the farmer around by the head, tearing apart the head skin, tearing apart the upper spine's nervous tissue. Where did that happen? It all happened in around here, I think. The wolf shakes the farmer around by the head, tearing apart the skin's head. Tendon in the skull has been bruised. So that was actually... so Adrian has actually now taken a bit of damage, and that is Adrian there. We'll have a look at Adrian in just a minute. So this wolf was attacking Adrian. We'll have a look at the wolf's perspective. So human lasher lashes the wolf in the upper body. So luckily we did actually have the human lasher around. Yep, so that's actually now just gone through, smashing. The wolf has become enraged. Wolf has been knocked unconscious. All right, before it was then killed by the looks of things. The other wolf. Wolf attacks the human lasher, but she jumps away. The wolf stands up. Wolf bites the farmer, and there we go. But in the head, not the hand. It was the head. So then sort of spins it around. The wolf attacks the human lasher. So this one is where Adrian has been bitten in the head by this wolf. The human lasher then did actually do this one as well. Punches in the head and then been knocked unconscious. So we've got these wolves in through here. This is now a corpse. And we have the other corpse. So a quick look at Adrian. Adrian is now resting in bed. It says seriously injured and unconscious. Unconscious just means sleeping at this point. So let's have a quick look and see what actually happened in here. Actually, Gizerone also was in... No, it was only those two there. Have a look at what we can see with the health. Now, winded, cannot breathe. This Adrian may die here. Let's have a look at the wounds. We haven't evaluated, treatment, history, description. So her head is torn open. We're not seeing anything there. The can't breathe should be okay. But we saw there the damage that was done. Like she was sort of thrown around by the head. So we need to get one of these things established as a hospital very soon. So let's go and do that now. We're just going to go and establish this area as the hospital zone. So we'll just go back into zones. So meeting areas, you'll see there hospitals come under meeting areas. And we're just going to go and drag a large zone through all of this. That way. So that's now got all of those bits established. We're going to accept. And in this case, we now go and establish this as a hospital. So we go and click on this one through this other side. New hospital. So the home of passages. We can go and rename that if we wanted to, but do we want to do that? Yeah, I can just go back in, set details for the site location. So you need to assign a chief medical dwarf to utilise a hospital. So we're going to need to do that one. I didn't want to have this happen this early, but anyway, this is actually what's going on. So we need to have the chief medical dwarf actually as our first doctor. So we don't actually have one of those. So when it's telling us those sorts of things to do, we just go down to things like nobles. And there's the chief medical dwarf. Let's see who is most likely to be a good one for this one. And I knew it was going to be Adrian. I just knew it. Unfortunately, Adrian is our novice diagnostician. There's nobody else that's any good with this. I always like to have one person from the military as a doctor as well. Like just not that it's super important, but let's go and make free Zeren. Even though with no relevant skills, we can always chop and change it once Adrian's actually been fixed up. But Adrian's the only one with any sort of doctor skills. So we'll just go that way initially. So this is our militia commander, but now also our chief medical dwarf. Right, well, that's so we now actually, if we go back to the zone again and then click on this zone and then just have a bit of a look, we now actually have this, because we've now got a chief medical dwarf. We've now got different things in through here. So we need to have beds, tables, and traction benches. So all of these things need to be established. We don't have any, like the way it works down through here with the doctors, diagnosticians, surgeons, and bone doctors. Doctors are like general practice. They do a bit of everything. They do diagnostician, surgeon, and bone doctoring. So in generally, that's where you're going to be wanting to have your actual doctors. Then you need to have different things in here, like thread, cloth, splints, crutches, powder for casts, buckets, and soap. They'll be brought in automatically if we've got access to them. So we're going to allow those to be built. And so to do that one, we need to go back in and establish a few other things. I'm going to go to this bed, and I'm just going to go and remove this building. And so it's now going to be taken away from there and then put back into storage. So we'll start there and put the bed back in this other side. Down the bottom here, where we actually had our had this actually established, we do actually have the stoneworkers workshop there. Let's just go and get what other things that we need. So we need to make a rock coffer, which is sort of like a chest. So we'll make a rock coffer there. We're going to need a few of these. So I'll make 2 of those and a table. This will be for surgery. So we'll just go back down to rock table down that way. So I might make a couple of those. So just get a couple of those established. So that's going to be the initial things we need for the hospital. And yeah, that we'll have to just do what we have to do. So we need to get a bed in there. We do actually have the carpenter's workshop. Let's go and add a task and make more beds as well. So we'll just make a few of these. But I thought it might be more expedient for us to use this bed here. Let's just see. Let's just watch what actually happens here. Ah, they're sleeping. Vegans asleep on the bed. Oh! Adrian has died. So Adrian couldn't breathe. So whatever happened to Adrian has actually. So sorry, Adrian. You are dead. Are you in Twitch? I can't ban you from. Yes, you are. There we are. So we've lost one of our... We're down to 8, which is still enough to trigger sieges. But we do actually have now the death of Adrian. Now we have a whole lot of other things we need to now go and do. So unfortunately, Adrian... I didn't think it was the wolf actually did grab Adrian by the head. It sounded pretty bad. But anyway, that's our main doctor now gone. The one doctor we brought with us. So Adrian, sorry, you are gone. So that's the first blood, that's the first death. So see you later, Adrian. You are banned for half an hour. Bang, done. So Adrian, I think looks like you were also on YouTube. I can't ban from YouTube, but anyway, you are banned from Twitch for half an hour. So that's the DasDemption kicking in. Now we have a body. We now actually have to do other things as well. We have a we need to get these bodies somewhere where they aren't going to stink up the place. The wolf, I'm sort of thinking we might be able to even sort of if we act quickly enough, we might be able to butcher them. Let's go back up or go back down. Where did we set up the other locations here? So we've got this area through here with the farmer's workshop. I might even just go off this way and build a location. This is the well. So we'll go and build the farmer's workshop there. I'll just make it a 4x4. And then another one there. And possibly we'll need to get another butcher in here as well. Maybe 2 butchers and a tanner, ultimately. All right, let's get those built. That's going to be for butchering what I'm trying to say, butchering the wolves. But we need to also then have an area to go and place those where we can then lock them off. So if we just come back up to this location, again, we're trying to make these different things. We're just going to add a new task, and we'll also make a. I think we've already got a spare door actually up top. So we'll start to now get another zone. Now I've got this zone down through here initially, and I just need somewhere to keep the bodies while we do things with them. Just make a smallish area there. Hopefully that will be big enough. Let's just unpause. Luckily it's not an animating biome. Otherwise this would be disastrous. So the reason that snuck through is the... yep, so Adrian has been found dead. Back there. Just right click on that one. The reason it stuck through is because these are... the wolves are actually animals. They're not attackers. So we don't get warnings from these. They don't come up... Normally if there's actually something dangerous, it will show down this other side. But in this case, these aren't considered that. Oh, here we go. Now we've got the whole other bunch of badgers. Okay, this is actually what we want to avoid. So these are... and you can see there's a heap of vomit here. They've been overcome by terror. Who's vomiting? There's vomit there. I might just lock this one down. Alright, so now we have a whole lot of animals in the fortress, and we now need to go and kill all them. Because we don't want these hovering around. So we're going to get our military now to go and deal with these, because they're just going to wander around the fortress. This is what we have to stop this sort of stuff from happening. Yeah, let's have a quick look and see what else we've got. Others. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh, there's a lot outside. Okay, well, we'll keep the ones that are outside. We could try to capture them if we wanted to, and then sort of, make them friendly. But we don't have traps or anything, so we don't really have the ability to do anything with this. So we'll just kill them off if we can. All right. So we have Gizerone in through that side is chasing the badgers through this area, but the human lasher in here is just hovering around. Who did actually kill off the wolves, thankfully. We've got Exik over there. Not sure where where the other one is. Anyway, that's okay. We'll just go and start the process of killing these off. So we'll just go back to our military. Select them, and we'll just give them specific targets. So we'll start there. Confirm. So we now are going to get this badger sow. So that will be the first one that we try to kill. That's it there. And so we're going to end up with these. This is Gizerone is now fighting the badger sow. We'll just watch. It's been hit. It's tired actually. So it's not, we will be able to chase these down. Come on, catch up with it. Here they come again. Another one sort of racing around. Whoops. They're very fast. Very fast. That's the badger boar. That's the badger sow there. Oh, they're all over the place. Come on, guys. Exik is still making his way out. He's armed. Well, we can actually cut this one off. Human lasher. That's the only one that we've really got going at this stage. Okay, so we're making... Are they down this way as well? No, they were up the top. That's okay. We'll just keep it going. All right, let's try to catch this one. So we'll change the target. Oh, kill various. No, that's not it. Hang on. We don't want to kill the lasher. So we just want to be killing the badger boar. All right, let's unpause. Now it's gone into here. Come on. And we did get a hit on it. This is going to be painful, trying to kill all these things. God, there's so many of them in here. They're just everywhere. All right. Keep on going. We'll just try to hunt them down. There we go. We've got one of them. Petitions. This is Ashro. Eradicating monsters. These aren't monsters. I'm just going to deny that. Actually, I might approve. No, I'll deny it at this stage. So we have one badger sow head and mutilated corpse in through that side. We've still got more that we're trying to get to, so let's now go and focus on this one. And just keep on sort of hitting these. Now, why are you down there sleeping? That's why. So it just happens to be Gizerone is the only one doing any of the actual attacking. Should we do another one there as well? In that case, yeah, kill the badger sow that's underneath there. There we go, 2 kills, good stuff. That one there is in a pile of vomit. This badger sow is coming back through. Let's go and kill this one next. Confirm. So we'll just get the. We'll just tell the military what to do. In the meantime, well, there's no point rushing now to do this. What we do need to rush is the storage zone. So we just need to wait for the others. What I could do is actually use this room initially. I might just do that actually. So if we go into the stockpiles, I'm just going to go and place a stockpile up in the corner here somewhere. This will then start to stink up the place, but we'll just keep it far enough away not to have to worry about it. So we've got 2 different stockpiles that we're going to be needing to get. So we're just going to go to accept. The first one is for corpses and the other one is for refuse. So we'll just get both of them established in here. So if I go to corpses and just go and then click on custom, we then sort of see that any corpse that comes from like it's pretty much from anything really. It's going to have, like if we go, there's badgers, we're going to have wolves down the bottom through here somewhere. There they are. So corpses will actually end up in here, which is fine. And what I'll do is I'll also create like a refuse pile as well, which is sort of like for rubbish. So we'll just allow that one to go and create a new stockpile and just build that one over here. And this will be for like general rubbish, but oops, hang on, that didn't take. Accept, and we'll just go to refuse. Just go to custom. And so pretty much this will be anything that we throw away will end up in through here. So we have things like corpses, body parts, skulls, bones, shells, teeth, hair, wool, things like that. Just stuff that's going to be essentially, and anything else as well that we end up considering to be rubbish will ultimately end up in here as well. So I'm just going to I'll leave everything on, I think, just by default. So just leave those 2 areas initially for just for sort of putting the animals into and putting the dead bodies into until we're sort of ready for them. Yeah, that's okay. Just make sure that they're still, yeah, they've got the badger sow. They'll just keep on doing what they're doing. So we have those now established. And what we'll find is that the others will then take them away. One thing we do need to do is when we come back up to here, is to now also establish, we've got the coffers, the tables. We're going to now want to get a coffin, a rock coffin. So we'll start to build those as well. Just need a couple of those. So we'll start to just build as we require things. There's Freezeren, the militia commander, just sleep on the job back in that side. So it really is only who is it that's actually the one that's doing all of the actual fighting in here? we've got the Geyserone. Geyserone is getting rid of all of these different things. Let's just go and unpause. Now, there's another one right there. As they run past him, I think I'll just confirm the kills. There we go, another one done. Another one up this way. Let's go and chase these. Confirm. That one's coming forward now. Let's just go back for that one. God, there's so many. No. Oh, here we go. Go that one. Okay, that one's done. Oh, that's a tame bunny. That's okay. I was thinking, what's that one doing there? That's someone's pet. I'm going to have to fix that up as well. There's a lot of things happening at the moment. There's turkeys that are now wandering around. They've come up from the bottom of the fortress and now sort of not where they're supposed to be. They may have been spooked by some of the other things, but I think that they're still actually okay. Yeah, if we have a look at the zones here, we've got like a big zone for animals. I'm going to change this zone. I'm just going to repaint this into the corner. Paint it down to that zone there. So that will be where they go, and then we'll just go back and erase the top of this zone so we can make use of it for other things, like farming, etc. And so this will be the zone for most of the animals initially. There's a giant bat corpse which we killed while we were trying to build the walls. So we'll accept that. So that and this zone, if we have a look at the actual pen or pasturing of these things, we've got like the most of the water buffaloes and the turkeys are in here at the moment. We're going to put that stray bunny in there as well as the stray chick. Eventually, we'll move out the birds into their own little sort of nest area. But initially, I just want to store them away, somewhere sort of away from everything else. The grazing animals need to be with grass. So eventually, we'll end up with horses and stuff. That anything we end up acquiring will go that way. Geyserone, yep, so Zaradin cancels making bed. Actually, now the Zaradin's fighting. Yeah, Badger Sows. Good, so the others are now starting to sort of do their job, which is good. So we've got no special orders for our military. Let's just go back up and see if we can find another one. That's the closest. Got this one here. Let's go and tackle that one now. And we'll just keep on watching. Oh, there's more in here. We've still got X6 still asleep on the floor. So we've got a few different things we now need to sort of go and try to work with here. These guys are still smoothing out the hospital. We have the start of the hospital though, which is good. A lot going on, a lot to do. Let's just go back down again and just see if the miners have started doing the other bits and pieces, which they haven't. No, so we've still got those sort of stuck. So things have gone a bit panicky here. Now we've got this thing charging around. It'll be put back eventually. Now we're up and running. X6 is up and running. This is the target. There, that one's down. Get the next one. Get that one from the hospital. Confirm. So, go and kill them off. Chase that one down. Got this one now in here as well. Okay, that one's down. How many more have we got? There's one. Confirm. Here we go. That's free Zerin. All right. Have we got any more? Or is that it? Is that the end of the Badger incursion, the badger and wolf incursion. So you can see we're going to need to keep our fortress locked down, really. I think the lasher wants to leave. Yep, so I think we might have to open up the fortress again. Let's have a quick look and see. We're going to need to get traps. That's basically what we're seeing through here. Because when we open the door, anything can come through the door. We've got that one's there, interrupted by Badger Sow. Yep, so there's going to be a lot of those happening. Even Began's fighting. Miner kicks the Badger Sow in the left ear, and the injured part collapses. There we go. Miner strikes the Badger Sow in the upper body with his copper pick. The Badger Sow is propelled away by the force of the blow. Began's then sort of saying, "This is my fight too. This might require an answer. It might indeed." So I don't know why Began got involved. Anyway, let's see if there's any more of these guys in the fortress. There's a wolf somewhere outside. So we don't want to open up the this for the wolf. We're going to need to get traps. That's really what this is showing us. So we need to get on top of. We might just keep the fortress locked down while these things come in. Let's have another quick look and see what else there is. Other Badger Sow outside. There's not very many of them left. Yep, they're both outside. We have a Gorlak underground. Oh wait, this is not a threat to us, so no, we don't really need to worry about that one. I don't think. So we've got one of those underground. Yep, they're all done. All right, well I think that's all we need to do. What I might do is I might just wait for the... I won't open up the fortress. Actually, we might open up the fortress and then just watch and see if the wolf or anyone comes close. If I just press F1, we end up going back to where this all sort of started. So let's just keep this one open, and we'll just go and make it passable. There he goes. Began is still probably just talking, I would say. Yes, he stood up, so he was actually he ended up on the ground, and this is probably just a statement as well. Yeah, just standing up as well. So that's now, we can now just lock this one down again. Right, well that was a bit of action. Now we have to go and clean up the mess. You can see there's a lot of vomit here. This is possibly coming in from the badgers. Like, we don't know who made all this stuff, but we now have a lot of different things that we need to now get on top of here. That bed still hasn't been put in. We're going to need... God, this is just absolute carnage. There's just stuff everywhere. There's bits and pieces, bit of badgers, mangled rear legs and stuff. Anyway, they've been sort of dealt with. Yeah, we can put the military back away, so they'll just keep on sort of doing what they're doing. Yeah, it's a bit of a yeah, interesting. We've got a lot going on. Let's just watch until we can get the butcher's shop. And what we should find is that there should be now tasks to put these into the corpse stockpile, along with Adrian. So if we have a look at the tasks, we'll just go back across. This is work orders, which we're not ready for yet. Open the task menu. So we have, this is actually what the jobs are that people are doing. So the Exec and Freezerin are going off to get provisions. Sev and Dino Dance are off to get a drink. We have store items in the refuse stockpile, so there's a fair few different things in through here. We can see what it actually, that's where it's going to end up. Just go back and have another look at the tasks. So nobody has taken these up yet. We need to store items in through this other side. These are constructing buildings. We need a wall somewhere. Where's that? Make that a top priority. I don't want... That's a weakness at the moment, where units can actually sneak past that corner and get into the fortress. We should be able to get there. what I can do is, in case I'm not unsure, I can just do that. I'll just see if that one ends up going. Let's have a look and see what other tasks there are. So we've got the stoneworkers workshop needs to be constructed. The mechanics workshop needs to be constructed, and then we actually have things like making beds. So Klingzog is actually making a bed at the already at the carpenter's workshop. A few other ones that have been queued up through there. Making a rock coffer. Gizerone is actually going off to make that one. Zaradin is cleaning, so all the blood is, so Zaradin is actually going to clean themselves off, and same with Began as well. So these guys are actually here at this is actually where the well is. And so what we'll find is that these are the two miners, and so they've also been caught up. If we have a look at the items, so they've got a coating of dwarven tears, I think that will be, but we've got badger blood splattered over the left eyelid, and also badger blood splatter over the left back teeth. So Began's got badger blood all over him, and if we have a look at, that's Began, and we've got Zaradin. If we have a look at the items, badger blood, over the right back teeth, the front teeth. So he must have actually bitten one of the other badgers as they were coming through. Anyway, he's got badger blood all over them. They want to get rid of this, so the dwarves don't like having the blood and stuff on them. This is why we had to build the well so quickly, because we had that soot was on some of the units. And you can see down through there there's a rope that's going down into the actual well itself, and there's the bucket there. The bucket is still not, that's the water there, it has to get down to there to then go and grab this one. So the bucket is, if we just go and unpause, yeah, it's coming up. You can see it's now just drawing itself up. And so what will happen is one of these will then just get the bucket from the top. It'll come up in a minute. There we go. And so they've now cleaned themselves off. So that's the badger blood there that they've cleaned off. Eventually someone will come and clean that up as well. And you can see there's different sorts of, there's mutilated, there's just blood everywhere, just badger blood. So we've got badger blood all the way through the fortress. Right. One thing I love about this game is you don't know what's going to come. There's just no idea of what's going to actually sort of hit you. But I really want to get these downstairs if we can. So let's have a quick look and see what we actually have again with the tasks. So we've got so some people are going to sort of take up these tasks in those locations. We're trying to pen or pasture one of the water buffaloes, I'm guessing. There's a destroy building is the bed that we're trying to disassemble. I think I might actually remove that one. I can sort of remove tasks. Some tasks I can remove. Some of them are automatic. So Zaradin is also going off for... actually, Zaradin's already... I thought Zaradin had already cleaned themselves. It's the expedition leader. Yeah, it's just covered in water now. So that's actually so that's the washing. The washing has now been done. So that's already now underway. Here we go. We've got a store item in the stockpile. So this is Freeze Aaron and Exik are now sort of moving things. One of them is going back to a normal stockpile. But if we go and have a look, so Exik is doing what? Not carrying anything just yet. We might just follow Exik and just see what Exik gets up to. So that's Exik there. What are you going to store? So it's now grabbed something. Badger boar neck. This will go into the refuse stockpile. There we go. Oh, there we go. So we've now got the body of Adrian is down here. So that's now been sort of positioned down this side. And then the refuse stuff like this badger boar necks. We need to get rid of all this stuff, otherwise it's going to go off. And so I'll just leave that one alone for a second. We'll just go back and have another quick look. And so all of these that are going into the refuse stockpile. So we already had the one from the corpse stockpile. Let's see if we can actually get, if the others have started to build. They haven't built that one yet. As we come back up, here they go. Began working his way through here. That'll be raining goo. Oh, no, raining soot. So we're going to have to keep our fortress locked down. All right, so this will be one of the butcher's shops. So just go back across to our workshops, farming, butcher. And I'll end up with a couple of butchers. So I'll just pop a butcher in there. Let's have a look at the tasks again to see what they're actually building. So we're now making the beds through there. We've sort of now got only one more bed to go there. The coffins haven't been started yet. We're going to need to get those done. We've got the rock coffer is being done at the moment. Pen or pasturing. So Exik is going off to pen or pasture a turkey. You can see there with the TU. And the others have still, people are now sort of moving through to sort of get rid of the refuse. I'll get a tanning workshop in here. So we need this thing built. Here they come. So that's Dino Dance. All right, in this one, what we'll do is we'll create the tannery. So workshops, farming, tanner. Make that one out of microline as well. All right, so this butcher's shop is now has now actually got like it's automatically got butcher an animal. So as the orders come in for butchering, like certain animals will then be given orders, and particularly with DF hack, if an order has been given to butcher an animal, it will just happen automatically. But I can go and extract from land animal. I'm not sure how we can then go and do this. I don't know if we'll end up being able to butcher the wolves and the badgers. I'm not sure how we do that, actually. Let's just go back up again. So this is the location. You can see they've now been taken. So this whole area has been cleaned up just while we've sort of been watching the other bits being built. So we're still, there's still a bit of blood underneath there, a bit of badger blood. So they're going through and cleaning up. There'll be one of the tasks will be to clean. We're pen pasturing different animals. Began's still digging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so all of them are doing different things. So Donna Dance is doing the tanner shop. If we go back now and have a look, because all of the animals have now been put away, like in terms of the refuse ones. So you can see now through there, all of the actual corpses are in here. And I can't do anything with it. Yeah, so I think they're just going to rot away, unfortunately. So I can't actually butcher them. So they're gone. You haven't buried me yet? No, we haven't even made coffins yet. So coffins are still underway. A long way off. I might get rid of the coffins from here and get this one working. Add new task. Make the coffins there. The beds have now been made, so we've got the four new beds. So what we'll do is we'll just go back up now to the hospital layer and start to put these beds in the hospital area. So what we want to do is we want the bed in the middle between a table and a traction bench. Now getting traction benches is going to be hard, so we won't worry about that just yet. So we'll just go back into placement and furniture and beds, and I'm just going to keep on placing these after we finish it. So we'll just go to the Bayberry, that one there. I'll just leave it like that for now. Just get 2 of them. We also need to start to think about bedrooms for the actual dwarves. They're going to start to get a bit sad if they don't actually have a bedroom layer. We might make that up on this layer here. And so I've spread it out. I normally like to have a couple of layers of bedrooms. That's our top layer there. This will be okay. We'll just go to bedrooms here. Now, because we're likely to have big negative things coming, I'm going to leave areas for doors. So we'll just go that way. So doors in the corridors. And we'll then sort of move off with the beds. You only need like a 2x2 area for the bedrooms. So I'll just go and place a series of bedrooms out along this way. They don't need to be any bigger than that. You can even just do 3x1s if you're wanting to. I'll do a corridor that runs, they can only be one wide will be enough. So that'll be enough for 10 initially. Just build them this way. And we'll get rid of this initially. Alright, so that'll be the first of the bedrooms when Beacon finishes the other mining. I'll leave this one open at this stage. Now, what's Sev doing? Here we go. We are doing it. So Sev has now brought in the badger sow mangled corpse. So we're going to be going through and butchering all of the animals unless they go off. So we've still got a bit of time to do this. So we are going to the refuse pile now and taking the mangled corpses. So it's just going to be done automatically. And so we can just sort of watch what actually happens here. Sev's butchering the animal. And what I can do is, the reason I wanted to get a second butcher shop is just so I can get two butchers working at the same time. So we'll just go to furniture. Not that I need to, but oops, not furniture. Workshops, farming, butcher. I'll just put another butcher there. Yeah, it's sort of like I'm sort of so used to working in animating biomes, which means things come back as zombies. It's sort of nice not to have to worry about that. There we go. Thank you, Began, for the gifted sub there. That's awesome to Adrian. So Adrian's back. So we've got that one coming through. Who's that? That's Geezerone dawdling around. Now, if we have a look at this one, so what we've now got is the butchering has now been done. We've now got prepared badger lung. There's two of those. They're prepared badger intestine. So these have all been now given tasks. Chopped liver, tripe, tissue, brain, skulls, fat, mangled skin. So there's actual mangled skin there and mangled bone. So this one here has still got a task, but it is mangled. So it probably won't be suitable for use in the like for the tanning. But with the tanners, we'll also then just have a new task, which will then just essentially be when one comes available, it will then just automatically be ticked in there to tan it properly. So that mangled skin will just be refuse. That will go back into the refuse pile. So are you going off to butcher something else? Store item in stockpile. That's okay. Just wait for the others to come back in. There's Exic building this particular butcher shop. And so we should then have more tasks. Store item in barrel. Smooth wall, dig, drink. Rendering fat in the kitchen. So the fat that was actually taken from that sow is now being, Zaradin is now working that one. There's the butcher animal in the butcher's shop there. So that's been given a task. So we've got that one done. So they will keep on trying to do that one until those animals go off. Yeah, with the giant bat mangled skeleton has also been moved into this refuse stockpile. Just keep on watching and seeing. Actually, do we have the coffins yet? Now, with the tombs, we can sort of create like a tomb area, or we can just build one any old place. I'm just wondering whether we do that in this case, just sort of set things up so that we end up with a with the tombs just spread throughout the actual fortress. I don't know, what do you guys reckon? Yeah, they're cleaning up all the vomit now as well, which is good. There's a badger boar mutilated corpse that hasn't been put away yet. Still got blood all the way through here as well, all this badger blood. Yep, so it's hauling plump helmets. So they're going down to fix up the farming in through this other side. We need to get more farming, to be honest. So we have like an area in here where we can sort of build more farms. I think I might just go and do that. I've got a couple of 3x3s there, so let's just go and make this into the farming zone. So again, we just go to build, we go to workshops, we go to farming, and we then go to farm plots. That one's actually, couldn't get rid of that one there, and we're going to have the same problem here. Yep, that'll be not quite where we want them, but that'll be alright. So we get 2 more farm plots. They'll then just go and look after those. We've got plump helmets being grown in there, and so Free Zeron is actually working that farm. And that was our farmer. I think Adrian was the farmer who had been destroyed. Anyway, let's just go back up and yeah, so we might have to start to get more doors. There's a lot of things we need to go and do, to be honest, in this fortress. There's we're sort of got a lot to contend with. We're trying to still smooth this out. I'll let that happen. A few of them aren't that happy anymore. Yeah, no one's taking the butchering seriously. Still rendering the fat in the kitchen. One of the things we're probably going to need here is soap. So we could even set up like a soap workshop as well. Now that we've got sort of like the fats coming through. Oh, maybe, no, we won't do that yet. That's sort of like a bit later on. Then we'll get that one established. That one, I don't know why they're not moving this body off. It is a task. So it has been given a task by the dwarves to move that one through. So this, it was these that actually were damaged. This is a spatter with badger blood, a spatter with creeping soot as well. So the soot on this thing is a bit of a problem. Now that water buffalo is moving around. There we go. We're now into early autumn. And what we should start to do is actually just get something we can sell. Make some rock crafts, I think. So Eridmon is saying, how would you be handling the refuse if the biome was reanimating? If it was a reanimating biome, that would have been a disaster. That last, all these things would be coming back to life. So I'd have to keep a military patrolling this the whole time. And I wouldn't have attacked them, to be honest. I would have had to have just let them run rampant and hope that they didn't become aggressive. The wolves would have been a problem. Because they would have come back to life as well. That refuse stockpile, at least it allows you to have a position where if you can get down to that, at least this would, if the things were reanimating, I'd be wanting to put a door there as fast as I possibly could, just to sort of stop them from coming back to life and at least blocking them in there so that zombie creatures would end up just being, this would then end up essentially just being a death pit, and we'd probably just lock it off for the rest of the game until we, maybe not, we'd be able to get our military in there to take them out bit by bit, or we'd actually end up with traps in through here and then the door, and then just open the door every so often, let them out, and then sort of deal with them in the traps. So different ways, I guess, but in this case we don't have to worry about it, so which is nice. But at least they're all in one spot. This is Began. This was going to be the refuse area. How are we going with the bedrooms? Nothing yet. So that badge is still there, unfortunately. picking it up. This one is no longer been given anything. Get rid of that one. Autumn has come. We definitely need to be putting this one away. Is it full? Is that refuse area already full? Because it does fill up quickly. No, there's still space in there. So it's not that. Yeah, everyone's off planting. So they've now got their priorities to go and do different things. And the butchering has taken the back seat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so dinner dance is the engraver. So smoothing the floor at this stage. All right, well, let's just keep them going. Alright, so Began's done that one. He should now be going up to the bedroom layer. There we are. And we'll be wanting to smooth these out as well, just so that the bedrooms are nice and comfortable for the dwarves. Beacon saying my priority is to mine down and rescue a forgotten beast. We'll keep them away for a little while. There's more creeping soot. Now there will be the caravan will arrive in a little while. Oh, that reminds me. We need to just go down to the workshops again and go to the crafts dwarf and just set new tasks. And so we'll just make things out of. Well, we do have actual bone and stuff, but we'll make them out of rock. We'll make rock crafts. We'll just make general crafts, and we'll just put that on repeat. So that way we'll end up with something we can then go and sell. Ultimately, we have one thing we haven't done is actually set up our what we need for to just keep everything sort of thumping along nicely. Here we go. We are butchering by the looks of things. Yep, badger sour in through there. And what are you doing? Tanning a hide. Cool. So we've found a badger sow skin that was actually good enough to use. Not the mangled ones. Yep, that's good. So we're getting useful things from these animals. And yeah, we've got badger leather there. So we have been able to get some leather from the badgers, which is good. So it's just only if they go off that's going to be a problem. So I'll just let them do their own thing for a little while. I don't know why Geyserone is just so slow. Really slow. No one's going to take up the crafts just yet, but we'll eventually get there. There's no rush with that. This engraving is just taking a bit of time. I'll still just set these other ones up just for the for smoothing as well. Just so we can eventually do the whole hospital. And I'll put a table in here for surgery as well. So just furniture, tables. Now, if I don't have any, yeah, I do have two of them. But we don't like what we do want to do is have automatic, have the guys just doing everything automatically. So I'm going to go and create a office just here for managing the fortress. So we need to have a bookkeeper and things like this. We're going to ultimately need somebody to do the trading as well. So we might as well do that now. Which means that we do need to get another table and chair. Oh, we've got the coffin there now as well. Actually, what are we going to do with the coffin? So if you have a look here, so we need to bury bury Adrian. Where should we do that? Should we just? I don't have to have the temple. The tombs can be any old place. The dwarves do like the tombs, so it's sort of like honouring the dead. rather than actually having them stuck somewhere away. I can actually build like a zone for the dwarves, but I could just put coffins in the corner. Let's go and do that. So we'll just go back in the furniture. This will be the burial location. So we'll put Adrian. Adrian died over here. So we'll put the coffin here. We've got a chalk coffin. Let's do that. That doesn't sound all that great, does it? So we'll wait for this one to be built. I didn't set up my what I needed. So let me go back into here. So I'm just going to go and grab myself another table, a throne and a table. And that'll do us. And then we'll use that to build our first office. This is good. They're now actually really butchering those like the animals that were in here. See how they're starting to stink though? We've got miasma now sort of coming out through here. If I've got a door, I might pop the door there. Yeah, we've got 3 chalk doors. Eventually we're going to need a lot of doors just to sort of block things off in the fortress to slow things down. And somebody will come with the coffin at some stage. Awesome. Right, so this is actually now you must designate a tomb before this coffin will be used for burial. So we need to actually make that into a tomb. And we can do that different ways, but if I just go down into here, I can just go to tomb and literally just create like a one location tomb. So we'll accept. So it's not going to be the greatest tomb in the world. And in this case, I can actually allocate, so auto assign the holder of who it's going to be. Actually, that can be like a different location as well. If I just go into here, just Adrian, there he is. Adrian, the very, very happy farmer. Yep, so Adrian is going to be in that tomb. Others are just sleeping in here for now. Okay, so although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Spire of Wealth is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarfs. Take careful stock of your own stores. What the merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. We do want to be trading as we go. Let's just pause because they've now come in. So we've now got the liaison, who will then tell us what's going on. So let's just have a quick look and see where that one's coming in. So we're going to need to now open up the fortress, and there should be the trade caravan as well, which hasn't arrived yet. Just go and press F1. And we'll unforbid. Just make sure there's nothing else around that we need to concern ourselves with. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we've got wild animals. These will be underground. I've got merchants. I've got these in cages. So there are some merchants as well as a diplomat. There is an echidna, which is over here, which is close to the entrance. Where's the entrance gone? Oh no, it's a little way up. Anyway, let's wait for these guys to come in, and then we'll sort of lock it down again. Just go to F1 again. Who was that? Oh, you're kidding. You are kidding. They're back again. All right, well, we know where it's coming from. So, and we actually have Gizerone right here. So we're back doing attacks again. I didn't see that in the list. What the hell? Ah, there it is. Right there. Okay, so let's go and get our squad to go and kill that badger. Confirm. All right, so that's the last one. So that one, I don't have to really worry about it. We'll just watch what actually happens in through here. So Geezer Own should get this one as it comes through. Nope, missed it. It's terrified. There we go. Oh, are you going to get it? Exec. Nope. Oh, yes, we are. We've now caught it, so Exec has got it. So we've now got the various. So these guys will finish that one off. In the meantime, we'll just let other things develop. So that's now been done. I can just get rid of those. I've been saying I died happy, which is what matters. I'll try to bury people where they fall, essentially, if we can. That's done. Creeping Soot is nearby. So back over on the edge of the map. That's all right. We won't worry about that one. Yeah, we're still just waiting for the liaison. Now that is the outpost liaison there. Let's just go and follow this one. This will then go and find Freezerin to go and talk. So we'll come through here. Looking around for Freezerin. Okay, back to have a meeting. And so they go to the meeting area. So they're now inside the meeting hall. There's nothing much in here. So it's pretty bare bones with what we actually have. Let's just go and now talk. So we've got diplomacy. So Expedition Leader Zaradin. So I thought it was Freezerin was in charge, but Zaradin's in charge. I'm your liaison. So let's discuss. So information added to the civilization's world info. So we can actually look at that later on to see what's gone on. Then we need to make requests. Now, the only thing I really want is to get, initially, I just want to have powders and just go with the with gypsum plaster, because it's the one thing we haven't been able to find at this location. So we're going to need to get that all the time. And that's probably all I really want. So we'll just click on done. Let's go and click on OK. So it's going to cost me more. They will pay more for figurines and splints. I'm not going to worry about that one so much. And yeah, that one's done. So we've got that one now established. That one's now going to head off. Where are you heading off to? Just no activity. Anyway, that's okay. She's bored having an intellectual discussion with an acquaintance. So that's actually with poor old Zaradin. So Zaradin was a very, very boring, but he was interested after having an intellectual discussion with an acquaintance. So she doesn't really like him, but he really enjoyed that conversation. So she's obviously maybe a bit higher up in being able to do different things than what he is. So anyway, I don't know where she's wandering off to. These beds are now part of the hospital. Actually, one thing we can do is to start to get the other bits and pieces for this. So let's just go back in, go back to furniture. Sorry, I'm a bit all over the place with all of this. I'm just going to put a couple of the chests. We've got 2 chests. Just going to throw them in here. This will then be for whatever we can get for the fortress. We should now find the merchants. We'll be heading in. Here they come. And so they're going to now move to this location here. But we need to now get a broker. How are we going? We've got a throne. We should have a table there somewhere as well. All right, we've got figurines. Yep, that's okay. So we've got a few different things now that we can actually go and sell. Not very much. So they'll come into here. I'll see if I can build the office here straight away before this all happens. So just go into furniture, table. No access to a table. Okay, I'm just going to plan this. So I'm just going to go across furniture, table, but in planning mode. because we don't have any. So we're going to place a table there, and I'm going to go and to place a chair here. This is going to be a little office. And I'm keeping it fairly central because this is sort of going to be the main area that everyone's going to be walking past. So it makes them happy if they're whoever's sitting at this office doesn't need anything big or special, but it does like to have interaction with the other dwarves around the place. So by placing the manager's office here, we end up with it being able to talk with everyone, which is good. So we just go back into furniture, go back to chairs. We do have a chair available. That's all we need to make an office. So we can now go back in. So the office is here. So an office is a study required for certain official tasks, such as approving work orders, and for bookkeeping, which is what we want. So we're just going to go across and paint that little zone there. So this is now a little 2x1 office. We'll accept. And so this office, when we have a look at this one, we got auto assign the holder of the role, and so I can actually just auto assign. This is through DF hack. So I'm just going to go across and do the where are they? The bookkeeper, the manager actually. Now the bookkeeper and the manager will probably be the same person, and the broker, to be honest. But let's just go manager. So this will be the manager's area. Now we don't actually have a manager. Oh, yes, we do. There we go. So it's now anyone who becomes a manager will then take this particular location. So that's all we need to do there. So this will be the for managerial purposes, and we now just need to build a manager in through here. So the manager handles work orders. Once your fortress reaches a certain population, the manager must work in an office to validate work orders. So in this case, we'll just find who's the most viable. Looks like it's Zaradin, really. Like that sort of makes sense. Although we've got Klingzog. I might make Klingzog the manager. So before we do that, let's have a quick look and see what the if there's anything there for the broker. Dino Dance has got like a lot of good stuff. Sev and Began. We don't want Began away from the mining. Negotiator. I might as well keep these sort of together. I might make Sev the manager in that case. So he will end up being the broker as well. So we've got the broker, the bookkeeper. Oh, Began is novice record keeper. I'll put Sev in charge of all of these. Just needs a mega study. And so putting him in as a manager as well will then give him everything that he needs. And so when that office is built, he just needs a mega study. That's all he needs. So once that's actually been built, he'll be fine. So at this stage, that's his requirement. So he's got all three of those roles, which will be fine. And once that's done, we can then start to issue work orders. There he is there, working away. So he'll start to give work orders to the fortress. Yep, I've done all those. There goes the engraver. This has now been done. We want to engrave this before we sort of set these bedrooms up. So with that one done, let's have a quick look down and just make sure that the hospital has been engraved. No, not fully. I might stop the engravement here. It's just so we've got like 4 beds. That'll be enough initially, and then we'll come back in and do the engraving afterwards. Now with the work orders, this is the work order menu here. So there's things like, for example, it'll automatically go from milk animals and things like this. We can import. Now we've got the this is libraries, smelting, rock stock, military, basic. I think we'll just go basic. We can either just do them manually or import them in. So let's go and import the basic library of things that we'll then go and do. And we can then just get rid of the ones that we don't really want. So we can go and prepare a lavish meal is not what we want initially. Actually, I'll just go and get rid of that for a second. Can we just pause it? Where is it? Actually, I can just leave these unrotten cookable items. When there's enough, it will just make it. So I think I'll keep that one. Brew drink, yeah, that's fine. Brew drink from fruit, if it's available. Honeycomb, mead, yeah, I'll leave all this stuff in where it is. I won't worry too much about what we see into here. But what it will do is it will just give orders for making bins, jugs, etc. We can start to come back through if we start to notice that there's something that just isn't quite working the way we want it to work. But there's a lot of stuff it brings in. And so these will just automatically be then just given as orders. Let's just leave it for now. And they will eventually then be given, and then there'll just automatically be stuff happening all the time. Now these guys are unloading. What we can do is we can go and talk to the, move the goods to and fro the depot. What we want to do here is go to figurines. We've got a couple of those. So we've just got a couple of those in through there. We've got the, what else have we got that we can sell off? Not worth anything. We don't have much we can sell. We've got badger meat. Let's go and sell off. We've got badger brain. We'll give you some of that. We'll give you some of this, and even some badger lung and some chopped badger liver. Along with some intestine. So we'll just give them some of that, some of the meat that we've got. Rings, we do actually have a couple of these that we've made. Tanned hides, I'm going to keep this, I need this for myself. Thread, we don't have much, we're just going to have to keep that as well. And then weapons, we've got one axe, but we don't want to give that away either. So there's not a real lot we can do initially. Yeah, that'll do us. All right, so that is done. So we just have a look at the waiting 9 items, and we'll go and we'll just wait for those to come up. So they'll actually come into this table here. There we go. There's a ring, some intestines, lungs, etc. It's a spear dwarf. Excuse me. All right, how are we going? One item remaining to come in. Table is now there for the office. Still waiting on one item. I'm going to go and request a trader now. So broker requested at the depot. So Steve is right here. He goes. So we now start trading. In fact, that last item has actually arrived. So let's go now and do the trade. So we'll just go and give everything we've got, and just see what we've actually got to spend. So we've got the value is only 94, and we may just even just give them this. Just see if there's anything we really want. Got a llama, a ram. The ram would give us, that's worth 100. We can't afford that, so we only got 94. Unfortunately, they're all going to be a bit too much. Yeah, it's too much. The copper shield is pretty cheap. Iron. We can start to make iron stuff, even if we don't make steel. We could still make iron fairly early. Now we've got That's dyes, pigtail seeds. That's just sand. Leather bin. They're too expensive. There's really nothing much else there. Getting the thread, this is something we'll eventually be able to get on top of, but not for a little while. Yeah, it would have been good to have something like a ram that we could actually then go and get wool from. Okay, there's nothing much there. I think we'll just get thread. Let's get the cheap thread. So trader profit is 70 at this stage. When that changes to yellow, it means that they may not accept it. Plump helmets. Do have some cloth there as well. It's now gone to yellow. They still have, they've still got a profit there of 30. Let's just see if they'll actually do it. So we'll actually go and make the trade. Yep. All right, they did actually take it, so that was okay. They weren't super happy with it, but it's that's fine. So we're now done with the trading. It's important to start to just get what we need from the trades, at least to just do the trades. So we don't need one of them anymore. So we now have the goods that we then bought back over that side. So we didn't get much, but next time around we will be a little bit better. Stray hens now walking around that way. There's still a lot to set up in here. Right. So this guy here, that one's now been cleaned up. The other one. Let's just keep it going. These keep on wandering away. As do these. So we're going to need to sort of set up an area for that, I think. Well, Beacon is now sort of finished off his job, so let's just go down to the to this area through here. And I think what we'll do is we'll end up with the animals off to the side here. I'll just allow one more square of workshops that side, and then we'll start to sort of then build up the we'll end up with the like the turkeys and stuff. So I'll make it that big for them. It's going to get quite big ultimately. I'll make it that size. That'll do. Now we should be building nest boxes as well. And we should find now that there'll be a whole lot of automatic tasks. Oh no, it hasn't been given. Yeah, splints and crutches, making beds. So some of these will just be automatic now. Yeah, making different pots and things, jugs. We definitely need to get more mechanisms. I'll just do this one manually. I'll see what numbers we've got. We may have to change the numbers that we have. So Sev's now the manager. Need buckets. Excuse me. Damn, there's still more of these. I'm going to lock the door again. Just make sure there's none inside. We need to get these traps built as well, so we need to get cages established. So we'll have to have a look and see the work orders. But again, we've just got a little bit going on at this stage. There's Sev, changed his clothes. Hasn't been started yet. I've only got the 8. I definitely need to get more dwarves in. Right, this has now been established. I might start to clean up the fortress. If there's a df hack command we can use to, if I go and click on this one through here, the auto dump, GUI auto dump, it's Control H. This is super useful. So what we do is we double click on a tile to teleport anything set for dumping. So we can dump to tile under the mouse cursor. Now I'm going to just go and set all these things up for dumping, and then we're just going to move all this stuff out of the way, just so it's sort of somewhere where we can go and control it. So if we go across into this designate item, I can then go into a dump. So I can go in and just go and set all of those for dumping, all of that, just so I can that way I can just clean up the fortress. Just get rid of all the rock. I've got different types of rock. We've got kaolinite or lignite there, which lignite we definitely want to keep separate from these others. So just the basic rocks. I'm just going to go and get the whatever the rock shape is that we sort of see around the place. Just go and grab these. So that's all done. Sometimes you pick up other bits and pieces. We've got the door there now, which will then stop everything from stinking up. Looks like Adrian's been put away. I'll end up with that piece of chalk as well. The chalk can go as well. We'll throw that in the same stockpile. Oops, that's lignite. Oh, yeah, I've already done that layer. This is essentially cheating because you can ultimately end up with them, you know, where they need to have other things. But we'll just start this way. Oh, there's a lot of stuff that was mined in here. Going across. So saying evening. How goes the colony? Going well. So you're now our broker. So you're in that position there. Get rid of that. That's fairly good actually. Just move all these out of the way as well. There's a badger that's inside. So go and kill that one off. I need to get these traps set up. So I just want to really just get the rock initially. Actually, these guys are doing work in here as well. Let's get that sandstone. I was thinking of building the top layer in sandstone, but I think it's going to be too hard to mine. We'll be able to do other things. All right, so with that one now done, there's Adrian's coffin. Let's leave that where that is. Okay, that's all good. We'll just go and place that one down in amongst the other workshops that we've got. So if I go back into this workshop layer, I'll just create like a pile of it in around here somewhere. So with that one done, I'm just going to go back into that GUI auto dump. And it just says to double click. So if I just go and double click there, all of those rocks that were dumped have now been placed there. It just cleans up the fortress. So I've still got a few rocks and things around the place, but overall it's fairly clean. So what I wanted to do here was to establish a door. And we then want nest boxes in this room. So we go across to furniture. Actually, no, it wasn't furniture. It's under workshops, farming, and then there's the nest boxes. And again, I've got this one set to the planning, so we need to, so I just need to go and establish, and these haven't been built, so I'll just go and get like a series of them sort of running up through the middle here. And then we'll build more of them as we get more turkeys and stuff. So these haven't been established. Let's go and have a quick look at our work orders and see if we've got nest boxes. I wish there was a way to search this. What's a sort do? No, it's not going to help me. No, it hasn't been added in. So we need to put nest boxes in this one through this other side. So I can just go back into the work orders, add, in this case, nest boxes are made at the crafts area, I think. I can just look up nest boxes here. And just really want to have a rock, just a rock nest box. It's all very specific. Yeah, there we go. And so that's now going to be added in at the bottom of this list. And I'm just going to now just go and change the parameters. So the numbers that we don't want 10. I'll just make them say 2 at a time. And if we have a look at the parameters for this, so we need to have empty nest boxes is less than, I'm just going to add that one in, and empty is okay. The non-economic hard boulder is greater than 10. I'll just go that way. So this one here, I'm just going to go and change that number to is less than 2. So we'll just have 2 nest boxes at any stage. So that's now satisfied, which means that they will start to build these particular nest boxes. So that will just be added to the work orders on the next day. All right, so that's now been done. That badger, we want to kill that badger off. All right, the enemy is in here. Go back to the military. Select the group. Order the kill. Confirm. Might just hover this around this one. It will be hunted down. There we are. Bang. Got it. So that was Exec again. That actually did that one. So another lot of badger blood in through this other side. So certainly killing them off, and they then go down to then be butchered if they can. So let's go back up the top, and did we close this off? Yeah, we have. Yep, so nothing else can get in. All right, everything else is looking pretty good here. What else do we need to do? I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. All right, so Seth's saying, so you got one new colonist. So we had 2, but we lost one of our originals. So we had a wolves that came inside and attacked the Adrian, who died over here. In fact, that's Adrian's clothing there, I think. Yep, that's all of Adrian's stuff. Adrian is dead in here. So we've got the skeleton of Adrian. So it's been put to rest there. So we'll put the coffins in the old place. Right, that's all okay where that is. This is now starting to sort of set itself up. Nothing in that coffer. What about in this one? Nothing there. Oh, yep, that was okay. Get rid of that. There's a whole lot of other stuff that we're going to be needing. Oh, where on earth are these coming from? How many of them are there? It's unbelievable. How on earth are they getting through? We've locked that one down. They must have just been inside here somewhere, hiding from us. All right, we just need to keep on going out, and there's all of the military. All right, guys, you got some badgers to kill. I don't think we can queue them up. No, it's only got the one target. What does that one do? There we go. We can get both of them. That's good. Continue. So we now have 2 targets. That's pretty cool, actually. If there's any others that we can see. There was 4 of them around. Confirm. Kill badgers. Kill all badgers. Let's go and look at the others. Outside. Oh no, underground. All right, so we need to kill more. Let's see if we can actually keep on doing that. No, it's only one then. Let's see if we can find the other as well. So they can just keep on annoying us. They keep on getting in the way. Got that one there. That one there. That one's outside. So we've got one outside, but the others are all inside. All right. Is that a stray buffalo? It is too. One's tame. Is that one of ours? God damn it. That one should be inside. All right, we're going to have to open up the fortress again. I don't know how that got out there. F1. Open it up. Make it passable. And we need to... That one should be, if we go back down into the fortress, that should be at the bottom there. Where is it? Down in here somewhere. There's our zone. Lost sight of where everything is. Yeah, so it's this one here. So I've only got one there. Right, so they should both be inside there. Everything should be inside there. I might have to actually create like a fence to keep them all in. That might be the cleanest way of doing this, actually, ultimately. Yeah, I could just create like a fence across here. So I don't know why it wandered outside. That's a long way out for everything. Let's just let's go and see if we can. We've got the 3 in here. Let's just go and grab those anyway. So we'll just go back in. I don't think I can actually. If I go and target that one, and then go back up the top. Yeah, 3 targets. That's good. Confirm. So kill those 3 badgers, and so that will now be what they then go and do. Again, we don't have to worry about that. See, these are terrified. I think the badgers are scaring them off. We're going to need to get doors, I think, in around these different zones. Let's just go and set things up just to stop our animals from running away initially. So we'll just go and go back to doors here, here, and here. And we'll just allow the military to go off and kill off these badgers. There we go. Another one. That's one down. Still got to kill more of them. Where's the other one? That's where it is over there. He's asleep. Looks like Exik is the one that's on the mission here. Where's the other badger? There it is. That one's down. Still got one more to go. You can see that the animals are spooked by the badgers. So we do need to stop this. Okay, they're both inside now, both those border buffaloes. I think I will create like a fence just to stop other animals from coming in. It's going to just cause issues. In the meantime, I won't follow the armies around. Let's just go back and build again. So constructions, walls. I don't think there's an actual fence, is there? Construction. No, not really. It is just walls. Oh, this is new. Reinforced walls. You can build reinforced walls above ground in caverns or in spaces you have mined out in order to block the passage of creatures, objects, and fluids. Requires 2 boulders, blocks, or wood, and metal bars. Provides some resistance to invaders. So what does it require? Like if we just have a look at that one, let's just go and create like a single zone. Oh, that's the planner. Hang on, I'm just going to hide the planner for a second. Just get rid of that one. Disable, cancel the construction. So if we go and have a bit of a play with that one. So the construction reinforced wall. Needs metal bars. Yeah, so you do need to have the metal bars. No access to 2 metal bars, right. So that's fine. So if we go and have a look at that again. So this is actually now new because of the siege. So for that one there, so it needs to have 2 of the of the normal wall building plus metal bars. So getting metal bars is going to be critical for building the anti-siege walls. That's really cool. I love this. So normal walls can be smashed. Yeah, this is good stuff. Anyway, for what we want, we just want to come through here. Now I do have 24 tower cap logs. I'll just make them out of tower cap logs at this stage. We'll grab that there. I've got 2 there as well. Might just make that the, I don't know. I'll just open this one up and put a door there eventually. And we'll just double check that is, yeah, we just want to get rid of some of these extra bits. So we paint. Just get rid of those. Okay, that'll do us. Yeah, That's the top of the fortress. We'll just go back down again. These haven't been built yet. Might make this zone for the birds. So just go back to a pen or pasture. That one there. Accept. And we'll just go and add in. I can use DF hack to assign egg layers, for example. Just to this one. So if I go back into here, I've then got the egg layers. So only egg layers. So it'll then just grab anything that is essentially, including the gobblers, but essentially any birds. So we'll just go and assign. And so they'll all be assigned to that particular location. So we know actually if we have a look in there, these are the ones that are assigned. The other ones, the grazers, are downstairs. So they're actually already been assigned to their own spot. That way we'll just keep them nice and close, and they'll be also ready for butchering as well. Let's have another quick look down here. Okay, so these have now all pretty much rotted away. So we have got the wolf skeletons. I don't think we managed to. What's that? To moose. Oh, that's the wolf that killed Adrian. Right, that'll be it. Yep. So both wolf skeletons are there. We didn't actually make use of them. All right, that's good. Everything has sort of now settled itself down. We'll unpause. Yep, that's okay. Just double check that we don't have anything else we have to worry about. Badger boar is outside. F1 is unlocked at this stage. So Klingzog is making a wooden bucket. This wood that we have outside, I think what I'm going to do is ditch this stockpile, and because we just needed that at the start. And what we'll do is we'll just bring it down now to the to underground, sort of down to where we were working in this zone. I'll just make a wooden stockpile in here. All right, that'll do for now. All right, so no sieges yet, unfortunately. We need empty buckets. As we get messages, we should just double check and see if we've got the order to make. Actually, we do have an order because the yeah, there we go. Trying to make a bucket at this stage. Yep, there we go. We've made the wooden bucket, so we can now milk the animals. Nest boxes haven't been made yet. Making a beds, wooden splints. Nothing queued up there. It's still happening. Okay, they'll be leaving soon. This is giant bats and giant olms. These are downstairs. We don't have to worry about those. Right, we better go and open up the door. Who was that left? That's still Klingzog outside. That's our woodcutter. Here we go. We've got more migrants as well. This is good. Where are you? Who have we got this time? Yeah, this is actually a metal crafter. So we're up to Vinyl Rabbit. All right, that's the first one. So that's now 9. Here we go. We've got ourselves a Gelder. Not really going to be all that. That's the spouse of Vinyl Rabbit. So this one is, I'll just tick these off as we go. This is Johnny Polius. Got a unit? No. Alright, that one's now named. More of them coming. There's a kid. Will I name the kids? Just 4 years old. A long way off before it does anything. Often the kids will get involved in dangerous things. I don't know if I should. I'll think about that one. Yeah, it would be Beolf. I'll just see what else that comes in. If we end up with not enough other adults, this one here is another dwarven child. This one's 8 years old. And here we have a peasant. So this will be Beolf. I think if the kids do anything, dangerous, then we'll sort of name them at that stage. All right, we've got a couple more. We've got 2 more names, Resmelin and Atomic Ant. I don't know whether to name them or not. See, make sure there's no one else that's coming in. No, that's it. That's pretty much it. All right, that's fine. They're moving in. So there's kids that have moved in. Do we actually move them in as well? Do we actually name them? I think I'll hold off. I think I'll hold off for the kids. That gets us up to 13 population here. Oh, hang on, there's heaps more. No, let's be off. Who was that? Oh, that's Klingzok. Thought, there's heaps of them. That's the kids. Yeah, so no, that's the last one. Yep, okay, that's fine. Got those in through there. So we've still got Resmelin and Atomic Ant to put in. So let's just keep things going. Actually, I'm running out of time here again today, guys. So I'm going to have to call it quits now, I think. What I'll do is I will leave everything else where that is. Only in mid-autumn. No sieges yet, unfortunately. It would be cool if we got one. We do need to get traps as well, but I think I'll start to do all that in the next session. So we'll do that next week, and the others are still working away on minecarts, buckets, cages, etc. Back and through here. This Stoneworkers Workshop, I'm going to pull that one apart now because we don't need it, and that one there is automatically doing rock mechanisms, which I think I'll pull that one apart as well because we've got one downstairs. Orangutans has also redeemed one. Add me to the list. Yep, okay. Anyway, guys, we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. And, we'll be continuing on. There's more badges there. All I need is just to put a few traps in here or along the corridor. That would actually be enough just to catch all of them. Anyway, let's just leave it there, guys. I'll see you tomorrow if you're around. Thanks for watching.